Welcome to MyUdgard, a series of video about Valheim. Kilroy has worked the Black Forest and gathered a good amount of copper and tin as well as berries and thistle. In this episode we will talk about the best choice of armor, get revenge on a sea serpent, visit the merchant, make some food, and make some potions. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit like. If you have any questions or suggestions, post it below. Enjoy. Okay, we have a bunch of bronze at this point, so we do have a choice whether we're going to use the troll hide or if we're going to use bronze. Now, while I was preparing for this, I had an invasion of Surtlings. There's a smell of sulfur in the air. This, again, was a mistake because I came out of my gate during an invasion without having eaten. Generally not a good idea, but I came on explicitly just to get a couple screen grabs of my wearing armor, and I didn't expect this would happen. But alas, Kilroy was here. I came back out to do my recovery, and I saw a troll was taking care of the Serpent for me. Very neighborly of him. I sent him a thank you letter later on in the form of a number of arrows, and he was so appreciative, he gave me his head and some hide. What a nice troll. Now, this does come back to my earlier point about making sure that you keep a reserve of seeds in case a troll or hog or dwarf or surtling or whatever gets into your base. You don't want it to go ahead and bang things up. Now we'll talk about armor. What I found is that bronze armor is just not worth it. It takes a lot of bronze, 14 to get it to tier 3 for each of the pieces, and ultimately you're only going to get an extra 2 points of armor per piece, and you're going to move slower. So it's just not worth it. Now the troll armor is 10. It takes troll hide, which you kill a lot of trolls early on, so it's easy to get. My recommendation is you go with the troll leather, the full set. The full set also gives you a plus 25% to your stealth, which is good for getting around. You're stealthier and you're faster. All said and done, that is superior to the bronze armor. We're going to go off and find the merchant. You can see it by the money bag on the map on the far east side of it. Here it is with the carriage, boxes of stuff. Halstein, stuff you can't pick up, but I tried. I'm not a thief. And of course, the dwarf. Good, I'm glad that fire wasn't lit. Okay, now as far as it goes, you can sell your loot here. You can buy the Yule hat, which is kind of just useless. Diverger Circlet, which provides light. I'm going to use that in the next dungeon I'm in. Mergen Lord, oh my god, you have to have it. Increases your carrying capacity to 450. Ymir Flesh for advanced crafting. Fishing Rod, I'll show you in a little bit also. And the Fishing Bait, which you kind of use with the Fishing Rod. So that's it. And of course, any rubies, amber, pearls, etc., that you find in the course of your not discovering unlooted dungeon. No, that's me. Never mind. That you find along your way, you can go ahead and sell them here also to get the coin, so then you can use it to buy Mergenjord, which I highly recommend. And that's that. On my way to go to the merchant, I have an encounter with a serpent. This harkens back to my first experience on a raft when I encountered the same serpent, or perhaps it's a different one. I don't know. But I have a score to settle with him. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Unfortunately, when I pulled him to shore, I managed to land some shots, but he still managed to get away. I need to actually build some sort of shore trap. I'm sure that there's a way to do that. If it has an opportunity to escape when wounded, that's exactly what it's going to do. Now, I repeated this cycle More times than I care to admit, trying to score this guy, but every time he managed to slip away. But I did some damage. Finally, I decided I would take it home to him and fight him out in the open seas. I did it backwards because I found that, you see, look how much damage he took. This way, I'm less likely to shoot the boat. That's bad. Now, I'm thinking originally I'm trying to pursue him, but then I see the meat floating on the surface, and I realize I have prevailed. I have had my revenge. So I go and retrieve my serpent meat and head home. And that has been added to my collection of foods to be eaten. Fishing rod, so I'm going to get myself some fish. You click the right button to cast it out. The longer you hold it, the longer it's out. Right button pulls it in, back it up, and then clicking on the right to get it closer to you. Action goes down. If you run out of action, the fish falls off. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cook everything up. Have a little cook off here, and they're off. Who's going to get done first? Okay, and we have next. You digest them fast and they cook fast. Go figure. Looks like the red meat and the fish are about the same amount of time. Now I'm going to cook off the serpent. Good God, they're huge. They take a long time to cook. I consider triple timing this because this does take a bit, but they're gigantic fillets of serpent. It's going to take some time. Don't want it to turn into Don't want it to turn to charcoal. And when it's completed, you hear the satisfying snap, crackle, pop. And there we go. Serpent stew. Sounds good to me. Now, I already did carrot soup earlier. I'm not going to repeat that again. We'll go through all the foods later on. But we'll go ahead and create this. This is probably one of the best foods in the game. So if you have a lot of serpents, go for it. Okay, well, these are the best foods in the game in terms of the health and stamina. Serpent stew, cooked serpent, and the carrot soup. You only eat that for the big bosses. More likely than not, you'll end up eating the carrot soup and the cooked meat and the cooked fish or the grilled neck meat. Those would be the go-tos for day-to-day explorations. Reserve the best stuff for the best circumstances unless you have a lot of it. That's it on food. Okay, when you're making potions, you're going to be using the cauldron, and it uses ingredients that you should have been collecting all along, like such as the blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, thistle. Neck meat was a surprise. Glowing mushrooms, and for the bases, you create the mead base, which goes in the fermenter. You wait a very long time, and then you can take it out of the fermenter, so you can put a new one in. It makes it in batches of 6. Now, of course, while I was doing this, I realized I was short on mushrooms. I'm having a drought of crypts, and I was going to kill this troll, but a 2-star? Oh, come on, really? I decided after what really was a longer time than I expected, no. Okay, so what do we have here? They came out in stacks of 6. I already had some heals. So we have the stamina mead, which will do an instant heal of it. Then we have the healing, which does a heal over time. The tasty mead is going to lower the health and stamina regeneration, and it vanished. And the poison mead is going to be needed for the swamp. So you're going to really need to have this at some point. We'll talk about that at that time. That will conclude this episode. We have our armor, our food, our potions, and most importantly, the location of the Elder, the second of the Forsaken. In the next episode, Kilroy will establish a beachhead on the distant shores where the Elder resides and, Odin willing, slay him. Until then, good night, and please do subscribe. See ya.